let's see, Dogma, got to be over 18.
Yep, way over 18. Um, so I have been a vegan for the last 5 years, but in the last few months, I've allowed myself to go to the farmer's market and buy some eggs directly from the farmer. And I'm here to let you talk me out of it.
Why do you think vegans don't use eggs?
Why, like I said, 5 years as a somewhat militant
Well,
vegan.
that's it's one thing to avoid it, but why do vegans avoid it? Like, what's the purpose? We don't just eliminate things because we want to.
Well, I mean, my
It's
whole take is in fact the sentience of animals and the cruelty. And I've
okay.
often thought that the factory farming system we have today will be looked back with horror by future generations who will wonder how we could have taken part in such a grotesque system.
Yeah.
And as such, a farmer's raising chickens just for eggs has somewhat, I don't want to say ameliorated that concern of mine, but, or maybe I'm just being selfish and I liked eggs, so I thought I'd try them after 5 years. Like I said, I'm trying to find the moral quandary here, and I
Sure.
see some.
I feel with chickens and eggs it can be a little more hidden.
Yeah,
Um, so do you know what the original ancestor of chickens was? Do you know like anything about them?
no, I don't think so.
So it's called the red jungle fowl,
Hmm.
and it only laid like 12 to 15 eggs a year, and it was only during a certain time of the year when they were mating because it's not really good when you're in nature to just waste eggs. So
Yeah.
we've taken them and we've selectively bred them to have their ovulations daily, if not every other day. So that part is already they've had the cruelty bred into their bodies right there. It takes a lot of their nutrients to make an egg. I think it's something like 10% of their calcium in their body goes to an egg. That's why you have to give them a certain kind of feed to make sure you're making up for that nutritional loss that they have. What sanctuaries do is they actually feed the eggs back to them. They'll just smash the egg on the ground and the chickens eat that nutrient back up. But we've deformed them to do that. And when you get eggs, you're perpetuating that system by saying, I want more chickens to be bred that lay more eggs than they're supposed to. And at the hatcheries, I don't know if you know what happens there.
Right. Again, I do only go to the farmer's market and buy from a farmer.
Well, where do they
You
get
know.
their chickens, right? There was at some point they purchased, if their chickens are laying eggs daily, if not multiple times a week at least, that animal has been selectively bred. That means that at some point she had brothers. They had to be eliminated because for the egg laying chickens, the males don't typically grow the right kind of meat and the right size, and they're also tend to be somewhat aggressive. So they often will just kill the males because they don't want to waste the time in the feed, right?
Right.
So it doesn't matter if it's small farm, big farm. There were brothers that were eliminated because they have no use to the industry.
Yeah. I
So
hear
when
you.
yeah, so that's basically why vegans don't support eggs. Let's say in a vacuum though, because I see where this illusion comes from. Let's say like you were just wandering a forest that humans had never been in, and there's a random egg that had rolled from a nest on the ground. You could use that. That would still be vegan. The problem is when you're exploiting the animal, when you're seeking them out and using them, you're stealing from them. That's what veganism is against. It's against exploitation. So, so again, small farm, big farm, it's all enslavement. So that's why vegans are against that.
Sounds good. A lot
Yeah.
to think
Have
about.
you, have you ever seen Dominion?
No.
You should check it out. Since you were a vegan before, it just might. That's so for me. I went vegan actually in 2011 for I think like a month, but wasn't because I was moved by the animals. It was just because I wanted to lose some weight and be healthy. And then it wasn't until later that I saw footage, and that's when I finally actually went vegan. I wouldn't even call my first transition vegan. I'd call that like plant based, but
Yeah.
vegan is when you don't want to exploit that animal anymore. And I feel like when you see what they have to go through, like there's no right way to do it. And it's fine if you need to go down that bunny trail looking for the right way, but you need to see the whole process. Even these organic, humane, humane farms, they even do things that you would still be upset with. Sometimes they have to AI these animals, artificially inseminate them, and that means touching their private parts, or enclosing a randy male with a female to make sure that they get the right genetics. It's all yucky in my opinion. So
Right.
anyway,
Seems to me that this is something that I've been somewhat passionate about for years, that some reduction is the best we could ask for our countrymen. Like, try plant-based, I don't know, 2 days a
yeah.
week, and we create a
Well,
reduction in
so that's if we're caring about the environment, but I'm talking about each individual that's in there. So if how many animals do you want to have exploited for you? How many more?
for me, 0, I suppose. I mean, that's been
Right. And the only way to do that is just to live vegan. If you care about the environment, yeah, I understand baby steps because, everyone is doing their part, but veganism is a principled stance that you're not going to support that. So that's why it's fine if you want to talk to somebody about changing their food habits in general, but that's not veganism. That would just be advocating for a plant-based diet, which is admirable. You can still go do that, but it wouldn't be veganism. Veganism is a rights movement.
Understood. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I would love to talk to you actually after you see Dominion, see if you have a mind change or anything.
Yeah, I do host a podcast. Maybe I'll do an episode about watch Dominion and talk about it.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
if you
drop
do
a
that, send
line.
me a link to it if I don't catch it.
Yeah,
'Cause
or maybe I can even
I'll
have you
follow.
on. Maybe I'll send you a DM. I'll follow you, right? Do I follow you? Let me see. Yes, I already do.
I got
Okay.
you.
I'll
Cool.
I'll DM you
Awesome.
about it in the future.
I
Thank
look
you for
forward to
your time.
that.
Yeah, have a
Yeah.
good one. All right, bye.
You too.